Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the news. This is Suzanne Nongspung bringing to you the headlines first. GHADC special budget session sees heated debate on Nokma powers, land administration and governance issues. Voice of the People Party holds peaceful rally to Secretariat, raises tribal rights, land and environmental concerns. Assam launches student welfare schemes to support education and flood-affected learners. Union Cabinet approves 8,970 crore rupees Guwahati-Tezpur 4-lane corridor to boost northeast connectivity. And India and Indonesia strengthen defence, trade and maritime ties during Prime Minister Modi's Jakarta visit. The news in detail, and first the local news. The eighth day of the 16th special budget session of the Garo Hills Autonomous District Council witnessed intense debates on Nokma institutions, land administration, taxation and governance. Members raised concerns over safeguarding the autonomy of Nokmas, delays in issuing land patas, the proposed abolition of municipalities and the issuance of tribal non-tribal certificates. The session also saw the introduction of non-official motion number 468 by Rinaldo K. Sangma, seeking a discussion on alleged irregularities in the functioning of the District Council. The motion has been scheduled for debate on Friday, August 7.
Constituency. Correction, it's 23. Beg to move the non-official motion, motion number 468, to discuss regarding the irregularities in the governance of the District Council before this August House.
The Voice of the People Party on Thursday held a peaceful rally to the Meghalaya Secretariat, drawing supporters from across the Khasi and Jaintia Hills amid heightened security in Shillong. East Khasi Hills Police deployed additional personnel and erected iron barricades around the Secretariat and other key locations to maintain law and order. Addressing the gathering, VPP President Adan M. Basayomoit alleged that the state government had failed to protect the rights of indigenous tribal communities and raised concerns over alleged land encroachment and environmental pollution. He said the rally reflected the party's commitment to clean and transparent governance and thanked the district administration and police for ensuring the protests remained peaceful.
The Voice of the People Party, the parang symbol dari Hindu Party. Kalau ini buat lingkung, yang kata, kalau dia sudah susah ke kata, kalau ini tempat kita hak lemprai, terkini supra kita. Yang mana sini kata, apa ni kata? Nama kita akan pengguna yang ini dia kata lagi. Indra saya berikan bantuan kita. Mengenai ini dia akan ganjai. Sehingga dunia ini sekretariat bahkan apa PCOS ini proud of Malaysia. Nama ini ada on bahkan mereka peaceful march. Kami ini orang sekretariat, kami ini orang firm sekretariat, orang tambah pilih. Pada Voice of the People Party, kami bias ni, kami orang kamu, kami ini nak katakan pada jalan beliau. Kami orang semua dan ini kita paksa
Eight area employment councils under the Guwahati Assembly constituency have received computers under the Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan to strengthen digital governance and improve administrative efficiency. The computers were distributed at the Bhoi Rimbong CNRD block in the presence of Mauhati MLA Charles Marngar and Block Development Officer Dr. Remika Talang. Officials said the initiative will help the area employment councils and village employment councils carry out their responsibilities more efficiently through the use of technology, while also providing guidance on the proper use and maintenance of the computers.
That's not what I want to do. To see here, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know the reports from you. There's not going to be junior or junior because they come with a lot of people. I'm not sure. You computerize. Computerize in our field. You need to rise in this note in good reports. But if you put the capital of it, you say that the software only alpha, they say you don't be training in the software. Ko apa yang dibuat lagi before yang tidak sosial, bangun sistematik bangun di jumlah di sektor Bapak tiba di belum kosong di jumlah jadi belum transparansi. Menolak dia kesesatan untuk sebab tidak ada.
Umdang village in Maushandrut constituency has received government approval for 2 major sports infrastructure projects worth over 3.46 crore rupees. Announcing the projects, Maushandrut MLA said the sanctioned works include the improvement of the Seng Samla Umdang Pulun football ground with a seating gallery at a cost of 2.01 crore rupees and the construction of a mini indoor hall worth 1.45 crore rupees. He said work orders will be issued soon and thanked Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma and Sports Minister Wailat Miki Shilla for supporting the projects. Local youth leaders welcomed the initiative, saying the new facilities will help nurture sporting talent and promote sports development in the area.
Ya kene kamadan ke jongpi ngila yo ya ka sanction nam ta ban penpha shu ya kene kamadan bat ban sina ya ki ya ka kalari ha kene ka jaka ke bangi syong mangi menta. But omdeng dan ki kalari ban syong mangi menta di ka kalari sakti kaliang ro ban syong ki pajba. But ka sanction ke bang yo ya kene ka sanction kumba ar krur silang ar punyo hajar tingka ke bang yo sanction. But na kaliang jonga din inform ke government ngala persang ban penyo ikte ki jing don kam. But ngaso ban ai ka jing yaro yu sport minister iba Wailat Miki Shilla but ke ya ka jing yalam jung chief minister jongi. Banalor kene kemadan bangiyo sanction ar krur silak ar punyo ajar tingka ngiyo ru ka sanction na menta bangin sina ya ki indoor ka small indoor stadium hangne hapo umdang gujongpi ka basyong dor sikrur sapo sanlang sanpo kendai ajar tingka
Sarkar bakila penyo ini ka sanction na bide bet kene kemadan di kemen ba yung ba kene ka jiwan ra kene kemadan ko ba singin ang lak ng pipiw mo ya kasap ko pong gati kung samla kay ng katang.
St. Alfred Higher Secondary School today commenced its Golden Jubilee celebrations, marking 50 years of service in education since its establishment in 1977. The celebrations began with the hoisting of the school flag by Nongpo MLA Meral Bonds A, followed by colorful cultural performances by students. Speakers highlighted the school's journey from an evening school founded by Father Alfred Merso to one of Ribhoi's leading educational institutions recognized for excellence in academics and sports. Addressing the gathering, Meral Bonds A praised the school for producing talented sports persons and successful citizens while encouraging students to remain focused on education, stay away from social evils and work towards a brighter future.
Hagabukung gani kesegi jom gajing kemen gajing pli ke jubili to ai bakung ki kimi ki pa ki badan hang ni bangin kut jing mon to ai bagino hikai jong ki badan hang ni bangin kut jing mon to ai ki kana school ki student be ki jong ni bangin kut jing mon bang kentiu ke school nagabor syagabor ka sarkar Meghalaya ka persang panpet kat balak Nak benda gejing don kam jung school apo ke jela ke jungi baro kuwi. Idon kum bakat sawajar san spa prapu artli di school apo ka jela ke jungi. Idon kum basan pusan hajar sispa andru pungut kinomikai. Haki pattern baper. Kilam di full government, kilam di deficit, kilam di ad hoc, kilam di SSE, kilam di full bakum tata. Sorkar ka persanghi ban pet. Baka education ke dikawai nagi benta ke baka sorkar ka lebu ya gejeng penmang pisa ka bak hambun. Palat kharsau 0.2% nagi gejeng penmang pisa ka sorkar jela ka dinam bagi education.
A fire that broke out at last stop Laban on Wednesday night destroyed 6 shops, leaving several families without a source of livelihood. Property owner Sengbor Nonkandri said the blaze gutted a stationery shop, vegetable and fruit stalls, and tea stalls with losses estimated to be worth several lakhs of rupees. He said all the affected shopkeepers are local residents who have operated their businesses there for decades. While expressing concern over rebuilding the damaged structures due to financial constraints, Nonkandri appreciated the support of South Shillong MLA Sanbor Shulai, who visited the site and assured assistance. Debris clearance has begun as efforts continue to help the displaced vendors resume their livelihoods.
Kita dukan thot tim dukan so udon bukan sia masuk anpat itu telah fi lamar ba kemio jengkain na masuk ate kan no ya pulut kan no ke jeng tangan mo li masuk tu kan dia pin keli mentai ke jeng baru kait dengan su anpat dengan su ong itu kumno kan kita ada kalak kan boy orang ni pola panjungi dono sutun nang nelo stop ni takut dah kini benar duk masuk mental adonnya like senam batang sejak ya kata dengan ong itu kong pe si gentir dengan coba tayo pi nakalang jonga tengam ngong bang anumla ban sina nakalang jonga kan namar ngate ngading pensioner dengan yo kan oken asuim di tate te menta kalau ngagajerap jong melete wan basan bor wan yaram ijeng lu jingsep tu ong ikini kinong songwai kan ta ukol kinong songwai tai ong pe ngani arap mangahi ke fiot kuslai te ya nang sedang pun khoi dak menum dak sengi kum terter kan saya mun senaroi.
Moving ahead to the regional news. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma today attended the ceremonial distribution of application forms for the Mukhya Mantri Nijut Moina Achoni, Nijut Babu Achoni and the flood-affected students assistance program in Guwahati. The initiatives aim to provide financial support to students, promote education and assist those whose studies have been affected by recent floods, reaffirming the state's government's commitment to strengthening educational opportunities and student welfare. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh inaugurated the first state-level digital governance, AI, cybersecurity and skilling workshop organized by the Directorate of Information Technology in collaboration with Microsoft. The workshop focused on strengthening digital governance through 4 key pillars: digital infrastructure, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity and human capital development. An MOU was also signed to promote long-term collaboration in cloud adoption, AI innovation and cybersecurity with the aim of building a secure, citizen-centric digital ecosystem, creating employment opportunities and boosting entrepreneurship in the state.
Today we are organizing a digital workshop for the upliftment of the AI and cybersecurity in the state of Manipur. The workshop has been organized in collaboration with Microsoft. Here the main theme of the program would be create employment, then create more revenue for the state of Manipur by employing new entrepreneurs in the state of Manipur. So with this workshop we look forward to create a more more efficient digital governance, digital platform in the state of Manipur. Already, state government of Manipur is already using various platform for running the governance. Now today we are collaborating with Microsoft to use some of their product for the in the governance, so that the government works more efficiently and more and derive the benefit out of the Microsoft product. So we look forward for a better governance with this platform.
I feel privileged and honored to be part of the first digital workshop conducted by State of Manipur. We are here as our commitment for State of Manipur, the digital transformation that the state is going through, how we can help them on artificial intelligence, on cyber security, and for state to become a digitally transformation state. That's the purpose of Microsoft showing here in full strength.
Now let's move ahead to the national news. The Lok Sabha today paid homage to the victims of the 1945 atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan, remembering those who lost their lives in one of history's deadliest tragedies. Members of the House reaffirmed India's commitment to the ideals of peace, humanity and global nuclear disarmament while honoring the memory of the victims and reiterating the importance of preventing such devastation in the future.
जापान के हिरोशिमा और नागासाकी शहर पर क्रमश 6 और 9 अगस्त 1945 को परमाणु बम गिराए गए थे। इस अभूतपूर्व त्रासदी में लाखों निर्दोष लोगों ने अपने प्राण गंवाए तथा असंख्य लोग गंभीर रूप से प्रभावित हुए। इस घटना ने पहली बार विश्व को परमाणु हथियारों के विनाशकारी प्रभाव से अवगत कराया था। ये सभा विश्व को सामूहिक विनाश के हथियारों से मुक्त करने के लिए अपनी प्रतिबद्धता पुनः दोहराती है।
The Union Cabinet has approved the construction of the 135.87-kilometer four-lane access control Guwahati-Tezpur corridor on National Highway 15 in Assam at an estimated cost of 8,970.20 crore rupees. Announcing the decision, Union Cabinet Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said the project will be developed under the Build, Operate, Transfer toll model. The corridor is expected to significantly improve connectivity between Guwahati and Tezpur, reduce travel time, enhance logistic and trade, and strengthen road infrastructure supporting economic growth across Assam and the Northeast.
This will say NH15 जो कि गुवाहाटी के नॉर्थ बैंक पे लोकेटेड है, आई मीन ब्रह्मपुत्रा के नॉर्थ बैंक पे लोकेटेड है, उसका ये प्रोजेक्ट है और ये आगे जाके बहुत सारे अरुणाचल के आगे नागालैंड के इन सब के लिए कनेक्टिविटी का एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट हाईवे बनता है। ये 4-लेन हाईवे 135 किलोमीटर्स का है और करीब 8,970 करोड़ रुपीस का इसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगा। आप सब जानते हैं उस एरिया में काफ़ी ब्रिजेस बनाने पड़ते हैं, बहुत सारे रिवर्स, रिवुलेट्स, ट्रिब्यूटरीज बहुत सारी होती हैं, वाटर बॉडीज बहुत सारी है और बहुत ही अच्छा एक तरीके से नए कंस्ट्रक्शन टेक्नोलॉजी से बनाया जाएगा और ऑटोमेटिक एडवांस ट्रैफिक मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम वगैरह इस प्रोजेक्ट में लगाए जाएंगे।
The India Meteorological Department has issued an orange alert for heavy to very heavy rainfall over Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, Gangetic West Bengal, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Konkan and Goa. Heavy rainfall is also forecast in Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, parts of the Northeast and the Andaman and Nicobar Island till tomorrow. IMD senior scientist Akhil Srivastava said Delhi is likely to receive moderate to heavy rainfall till tomorrow, with light showers expected to continue throughout the week.
talk about the entire country-wise rainfall activity, then we are expecting intense rainfall activity in the northwest parts of the country, particularly due to a favorable western disturbance as well as favorable upper air cycle circulation. We have issued an orange alert for Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, East Rajasthan, West Madhya Pradesh, considering heavy to very heavy rainfall activity is expected today. If we talk about southern parts of the country, then Kerala particularly is expected to receive heavy to very heavy rainfall activity with isolated extremely heavy rainfall activity, and accordingly a red alert has been issued for Kerala. For the coastal Karnataka and south Indian Karnataka, we are expecting heavy to very heavy rainfall activity with orange alert. In eastern parts of the country, Odisha, Jharkhand, Gangetic West Bengal meteorological subdivisions, as well as in the northeast parts, particularly Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura meteorological subdivision is expected to receive heavy to very heavy rainfall activity today. So accordingly, orange alert has been issued. For other parts of the country, particularly Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana, and eastern parts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and some parts in the southern parts of the country, isolated heavy rainfall activity is expected.
Heavy rainfall lashed New Delhi and its neighbouring areas on Thursday, leading to widespread waterlogging and major traffic disruptions across the city. Several roads were submerged as residents raised concerns over poor drainage infrastructure. Shopkeepers, particularly in Delhi's Sadar Bazaar, reported heavy businesses losses as many establishments remained closed due to flooding. The India Meteorological Department has issued a heavy rain alert for Delhi and adjoining regions, with rainfall expected to ease from Friday. Now for the international news. India and Indonesia have agreed to deepen cooperation in defence, trade and maritime security during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's two-day visit to Jakarta. The two countries signed an agreement on the BrahMos cruise missile system, along with memorandums of understanding on critical minerals, steel and agriculture. Both sides also agreed to accelerate talks on a preferential trade agreement and enhance maritime safety and security in the Indian Ocean. Prime Minister Modi will conclude his Indonesia visit before travelling to Australia and New Zealand.
भारत दुनिया का वो देश है जो विस्तारवाद नहीं, विकासवाद की नीति पर चलता है। हमारे पास समुद्र से जुड़ी भविष्य की अनेक संभावनाएं हैं। इसलिए मैं आज समुद्र की इसी विशालता को आधार बनाकर आपसे भारत इंडोनेशिया के संबंधों को नई ऊंचाई देने का आग्रह करूंगा। भारत फ्री, ओपन और इंक्लूसिव इंडो पैसिफिक का प्रबल समर्थक है। भारत इंडो पैसिफिक में फ्रीडम ऑफ नेविगेशन की बात करता है। इसके लिए हमने आसियान को केंद्र में रखा है।
And now the sports news. Hockey India has announced the 18-member Indian junior women's team for the AHF Junior Asia Cup 2026 to be held in Mozi, China from August 30th to September 13. The squad will be led by midfielder Kaidam Shilema Chanu and includes 2 alternate players. The team heads into the tournament after an intensive training camp under newly appointed head coach Tim White. The championship will feature Asia's top junior teams and serve as an important platform for emerging hockey talent. India Power Generation Corporation Limited has issued an announcement that the impounding of the Kirdam Kulai and Nongmohir reservoirs under the Umyam Untra Stage 3 hydroelectric project has begun today, August 5th. The public is strongly advised not to venture near the reservoirs or riverbanks in the mentioned villages, as water levels may rise suddenly, posing serious safety risks. If water levels exceed the prescribed limits, the dam's radial gates may be opened to regulate the flow, which could lead to a rapid rise in downstream water levels. The corporation will give prior intimation to the concerned district administration and local stakeholders through the headman before the opening of the gates. The corporation has urged the public to follow the safety advisory and cooperate to prevent any untoward incidents. And now for the weather report. First, let's take a look at the weather report in Tura. The minimum temperature was recorded at 23 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 31 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 81% and rainfall 11.9 millimeters. Moving on to Shillong, the minimum temperature 19 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 26 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 77% and rainfall 7.6 millimeters. Meanwhile, in July, the minimum temperature 19 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 25 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 83% and rainfall 6.4 millimeters. And the forecast in Tura, Shillong and July says heavy rain with thunderstorm likely to occur at many places. And now, before we end the news, the headlines once again. GHADC special budget session sees heated debate on NOCMA powers, land administration and governance issues. Voice of the People Party holds peaceful rally to Secretariat, raises tribal rights, land and environmental concerns. Assam launches student welfare schemes to support education and flood-affected learners. Union Cabinet approves 8,970 crore Guwahati Tezpur 4-lane corridor to boost northeast connectivity. And India and Indonesia strengthen defence, trade and maritime ties during Prime Minister Modi's Jakarta visit. Well, viewers, with that we have come to the end of the news bulletin. Do join us again tomorrow at the same time, same channel for more news update. Until then, thank you for watching and good night.
Kan